Hey there, everybody. Welcome on into the Hump Day edition here of Winning Bets. This is Wednesday. We get to make sure we, of course, get to recap yesterday and roll out the bets today in the NBA and NHL that hopefully put money in your pocket. And then tomorrow, Major League Baseball kicks off its 2023 season, so we look forward to talking about that as well. Let's go ahead and make sure we just throw up the recap and start with that, where we were juiced out yesterday going 1-1 and down a little bit there with the juice at minus 0.2 units, but still a fantastic week at plus 3.7 units. But what were those couple bets yesterday that we had? We had Adebayo over 18.5 points, and boy, that one super sweaty and on pace kind of, and then kind of tailed off there a little bit there in the second half, but then he showed up in a big spot there in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter. They're still playing their starters in a game in which, I guess they could have maybe gone on a run and gotten back into it, but it did look like, they were going to lose that game to the Raptors. So for them leaving Bam Adebayo up in that game, thank you, my man. Thank you, coach. I appreciate you leaving him up in there. And late in that game, a minute or so to spare is when he wants to go up over 18.5 points. And then he ends up getting another bucket, and then it goes up to 21 points. So, yeah, he got it done and took advantages. So that was a good cash right there. And then Wendell Carter Jr., boy, that one was a really stinking heartbreaker. Remember, we did his points and his rebounds. As you can see from the screenshot there, we cashed his points. We needed over 13.5 points. He ended the game with 14, so that was just fine. But we missed the rebounds on the hook. We needed 8 or more, and he ended the game with 7. God damn, were you guys watching that like me? It felt like there were so many opportunities late in that game. You saw missed free throws there, by the Memphis Grizzlies. You just saw, missed shots in general. Damn, just nothing could go his way in terms of him just getting one rebound and giving us a 2-0 sweep. So that one hurts, and it hurts for a little bit of an extra reason, which I'll get into here in a second when we go ahead and roll out the slate of bets for today. But that one stings a little bit there, fellas. But again, 1-1, down a little bit on the juice, but still very much positive on the week at plus 3.7 units. What are you guys talking about in that chat section? Anything good going on this morning with you guys? What's up, Brian? Hope you're doing well. He had a great first quarter. Yeah, I think he stepped up to, 8 points they say in that first quarter? Really took advantage in that first quarter and had himself, and then, just Klein. Adebayo closed at 21.5. Well, great. I didn't realize that. I missed that one. Definitely on the right side of that bet, as we should have. He should have had a good night. That means he did not go over 21.5, though. Those people missed out. You got to tune in bright and early. You can get 18.5, folks. You ain't got to wait for that 21.5 crap. Hop on up in here earlier and get up on there. So, yeah. What do we got going on, Slate? You guys can see right there when you guys tuned in today. You're obviously watching the top one right there, the upcoming stream. But there you go. Tomorrow, payoff pitch starts live. It says 10 a.m. here on the screenshot. That's, of course, it's going to be local to wherever you live. It's 11 a.m. Eastern time. 11 a.m. Eastern time. And I've actually bump that back to 10:40 or 9:40, depending on, again, where you live. Because at 10:40 a.m. Eastern time is when I'll jump on each and every single day, do the daily show, kind of recap yesterday's bets, and then give you guys any soccer, NBA, or maybe even NHL bets as well. And then as you guys can see also in that screenshot, the first nrfi hang is planned Thursday, 3 o'clock, depending on, again, where you live. It's 3 o'clock where I live. Game starts at 3:10. We'll set the stage starting at 3:05. Get on the broadcast and set the stage. So, Mets, Marlins, look forward to cashing the first nrfi with you guys. And if you haven't seen how I took a $10 bill and turned it into $25,000, go check out that video, too. That was a hell of a ride coming up. So, yeah, baseball is here. I'm thoroughly excited. Good morning, Sean. Hope you're doing well, my man. Let's go ahead and throw up some bets. We talked about betting that Mets-Marlins nrfi, what we're doing, the hang. Lines are out, baby. Best one, minus 155 over at Bet Rivers. I know that is above our minus 150 cutoff, but I thought about adding on a juice reducer, but, I thought about maybe doing my favorite money line, baseball, tomorrow, but it's game one. Like, just because I think they're going to win doesn't mean that's going to translate. So at the end of the day, it's 155. It's not brutally above minus 150. So I'm not interested in tacking on a juice reducer. So we are going to go ahead and roll with Mets Marlins. We talked about how Alcantara and Scherzer, neither one have given up a run so far in spring training in the first inning. We know generally their pedigree. If you're actually going to be worried about one of these two pitchers, it should be Scherzer. Scherzer from time to time can give them up in the first inning. It happens with all the pitchers, but of these two, I would be a little bit more nervous of Scherzer. But then you say, okay, now you're going up against the Marlins, who rank 30th in the MLB in runs scored in the first inning over the course of spring training. We know how they were weak at that same category last season. So let's go ahead and roll with Mets Marlins minus 155 over on Bet Rivers. And then also on Bet Rivers, you can pluck out just an individual team to not score in the first inning. We're not interested in the entire Giants-Yankees games or Marlins-Rangers or Guardians-Mariners. We just want those Giants, those Phillies, and those Mariners from those respective 3 games. Those 3 teams will not be able to score in the first inning is what we're predicting there in the Giants, Phillies, and Mariners. Minus 112 over on Bet Rivers. Garrett Cole hasn't given up a run yet in this first inning of spring training. Jacob deGrom hasn't given up a run yet in the first inning. While Shane Bieber has, we know there is no better nrfi pitcher out there than Shane Bieber. I'll gladly back him with the Mariners team that is scuffling in the first inning, about middle of the pack, ranking about 17th in Major League Baseball in terms of first inning production, only getting about half a run per game through spring training. And now they go up against the best nrfi pitcher in baseball in Shane Bieber. So, yeah, that one to me was a no-brainer parlay. Minus 112 over on Bet Rivers to kick off our baseball. Again, we talked about yesterday. We know what spots we've got circled. We don't have any team totals or F5 team totals, nor do we have any pitching props. So we'll give out the rest of the bets tomorrow on the payoff pitch for baseball, 11 a.m. Eastern time. 11 a.m. Eastern time. All right, what are we going to do here for basketball today? Gave you out 2 bets earlier on Twitter. Let's go ahead and add one to it. We will go ahead and do Westbrook under 15.5 points. And this is the one that stings a little bit from that Wendell Carter Jr. I alluded to earlier. And what I was alluding to is I kind of wanted to give out 2 bets on yesterday's show. Wendell Carter Jr., the play that we played. And also I wanted to do Markelle Fultz under 15.5 points. But in the end, I didn't want to double dip within the same game. And I thought Carter had more advantages than Fultz would struggle. I proved wrong. We picked the wrong one. Fultz cash and Wendell Carter Jr. dent. There's a reason Fultz, was going to struggle. That Grizzlies defense, first point guards, is awfully goddamn good. Top 7 in the NBA. We'll go ahead and take Westbrook. I still know Paul George in the lineup. I don't really give a shit. Really great defense there in the Memphis Grizzlies in terms of limiting the point guard position. So we'll do Westbrook under 15.5 points. See if we can't go back-to-back with him. We'll also go Mikal Bridges. They're the Brooklyn Nets. They're playing the Rockets. I don't think there's a ton of explanation really needed, to go with that one. We know the angle we're targeting, right? The Rockets can't defend point guard and shooting guard. Of the two, between Dinwiddie and Bridges, it was easy to go with Bridges. He's got more attempts and more mades per game. So no choice going with Bridges over Dinwiddie. If you wanted to double dip and go with Bridges, you can't be wrong. But if you wanted to double dip in that game, I would switch over to the small forward and Cam Johnson, who takes more attempts and more makes than Spencer Dinwiddie per game. But to me, the bona fide, you're just going back to the well and what works, where with the shooting guard or point guard. And again, it's a no-brainer pick there, going with Bridges up over Spencer Dinwiddie. So we'll roll with him over 2.5 made three-pointers. And the other one here, James Wiseman over 13.5 points. That's the new bet there that I haven't given you yet at minus 125 over at DraftKings. Look, he averages 13.5 points in the month of March, cashing in 8 of his 13 games. He went up against the Warriors. He went up against the Thunder when he was a member of the Warriors. Only played 5 minutes, but went 3 for 3 in that game. You can see how much this guy has an advantage up over, the opposing center there for the Thunder. So love that right there. And the Thunder are just struggling versus centers in the last 30 days. 19.2 points per game, 60.5 field goal percentage, which ranks bottom 5 of the NBA, and 15.5 rebounds per game, which ranks in the bottom 7 of the NBA. So they're struggling. They're on the back end of a back-to-back, so maybe that'll even help out James Wiseman. I'm not too worried about a blowout, even though it's on the back end of a back-to-back, because, well, it's the Pistons, and I don't know, can they blow out anybody? And 2, SGA didn't play last night, but SGA will play tonight. Him alone should certainly keep that game within distance and prevent a blowout by the I can't imagine the Pistons blowing them out, but it is the back end of a back-to-back, so I feel like it is worth mentioning, but not a real concern of mine. I'm going to go right for Wiseman and attack that Thunder defense from that center position that just can't guard it. So that's what we'll be looking for at that angle. What other things could we keep an eye on? What about Kevin Durant? He's returning tonight to the Phoenix Suns, so that smells like a Chris Paul under. But I'm seeing conflicted reports on a minutes restriction with Kevin Durant. Some places are saying no restriction, and then you can look at other sites and they say there will be a minute restriction. That's got me just enough hesitation to maybe wait until the next Phoenix Suns game. If there is any limitation, with his minutes, then you could get your ass bit in that under like we did in the game where he sprains his ankle in warmups, and then we got full on bit that game. I just don't want to get bit with the minutes limit, so I think maybe you hold off on the Chris Paul play and maybe wait till they play Thursday or Friday or Saturday, whenever their next game is, and Durant is no longer even within the doubt of a minutes restriction. But I just wanted to go ahead and mention that. And the other spot is Joel Embiid. He's questionable, but the Mavs can't defend the center position. We know that well. This would be an Embiid smash spot because James Harden is out. Embiid would then carry the load like he's been doing lately. So absolute smash spot with how the Mavericks can't defend the center position. But he's questionable, so no line on Embiid, so don't have a one for that. So we'll just go ahead and roll for now. Westbrook under 15.5 points. We'll go ahead and roll with Bridges over 2.5 made three-pointers. And we'll go ahead and roll with James Wiseman over 13.5 points. Minus 125 over on DraftKings. Otherwise, guys, I've got nothing. That's it. Morning, Corey. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. That's it, fellas. You guys got anything? What are you guys looking for today? God, how bad did that Wendell Carter Jr. loss hurt last night, fellas? Just couldn't quite grab that goddamn 8th rebound. Just couldn't quite grab it. So much pain in that one. So much pain in that one. So much pain. So if you want to know this NRFI that I gave out for Mets Marlins over on Bet Rivers, the only other book I've seen that's been willing to populate other than money lines, over-unders, and run lines is Caesars. You can also get that at Caesars. It's minus 160 at Caesars. Obviously, I would always tell you guys the best book. That's why I'm telling you Bet Rivers. But if you don't have Bet Rivers, Caesars. Caesars has gotten it up. Otherwise, FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, nobody else is willing to give you anything other than money lines, over-unders, and run lines. So Bet Rivers and Caesars are just starting to populate a little bit there. You do get some team totals, which obviously you guys know I'm interested in, but you guys know I kind of like more of that F5, right? You're going in there, you're really just targeting a shitty starting pitcher. Do you want to remove the bullpen? We got to wait for DraftKings on that. If we got to pivot to a full game team total, I'm not against that, but I'd much rather just wait for the F5 team total. So, but you can get some full game team totals over on Caesars if you're interested in it. They're out there. Maybe you take the Braves team total. I can tell you right now the one I'm interested in, fellas, and it's a bet that been kind of looking at, and it's one that I'll be giving out tomorrow on the payoff pitch. It's the Angels taking on the Athletics. I'm not interested in the money line of minus 2. I just want the Angels team total. They coming in smoking left-handed pitching right now. 7th in the major leagues. They're hitting 290, slugging 449, on base percentage of 381, and they're going up against Kyle Merler there at the Athletics, who's dog shit to say the least. 18 innings pitched, 13 earned runs, 3 home runs. He's letting people hit 370 off his ass in spring training, and his whip is 1.89. It's going to be a bad year for the Athletics if that's your opening day starter. And this is not just like a blip, because in 2022, he was god-awful with the Braves, an 8.03 ERA, a 1.7 whip, and a 260 opponent's batting average. I was only in 3 starts with the Braves. There's a reason why he only got 3 starts, because he got his ass rocked and they sent his ass packing. Well, I got a feeling the Angels, with how come they're coming in this game smoking left-handed pitching, boy, they could rock his ass. So I want the Angels team total tomorrow. I'm going to hold out for the F5 team total, but if I've got to pivot to the full game team total, I'm okay with that. And the reason I'm okay with that is I'll always pivot to the full game team total if needed, if they're the away team and you're guaranteed all 9 innings. I don't like doing that at the home team because you don't guaranteed all 9 innings. But if you're the away team, I don't mind pivoting to the full game team total. So put that one on your radar, fellas. Look out for an Angels F5 team total. It'll be at 2.5 on DraftKings. I'm okay with that. Again, you're getting the matchup you want. Shitty starting pitcher versus a team that's hot versus left-handers. Sign me up for that one. So that bet's on the horizon. Just need a number. So otherwise, we've got the Tigers F5 team total, which on Bet Rivers, you can already get Tigers full game team total at 2.5. So that guarantees you that when DraftKings opens up the F5 team totals tomorrow or tonight or whenever, we're going to get Tigers F5 team total 1.5. So that'll be a play we're looking to play. Angels team total, Braves team total, and Rockies team total. And I know this is sounding like a lot of bets, and maybe you pivot and go to half unit, but I think based on the numbers, right? We're using spring training numbers. We're putting our money in good spots. It is day one, so that is a little bit, makes you feel like there's more risk than what there would be if this was June. I hear you. I'm probably going to roll out everything at 1 unit. We'll see these team totals, but maybe I pivot to half units. But I'd imagine they're just going to roll out full unit bets, and I like the spots. I like the spot tomorrow with Mitch Keller striking out a whole hell of a lot of reds. I know that's going to be a spot. We also know, in talking about players yesterday, we didn't even talk about Zach Greinke. Now, that wasn't a play that we were able to play for very long. Remember him, guys? Under 1.5 walks, and how goddamn good that was to us. And then the sportsbooks took it away, and then when it came back at over under 0.5. The under was, plus money, and the over was like minus 200. They made it unplayable quick, but there was 3-4 starts where we were cashing Zach Greinke under 1.5 walks every single damn time. See what they give us tomorrow. Going up against the Twins. You're getting the Twins offense that in spring training, bottom 5 in Major League Baseball. They're scuffling coming into this season. We know Zach Greinke's excellent command. I think a pitch clock is a thing that like a Zach Greinke kind of pitcher welcomes. He doesn't mind speeding it up and going fast. So we'll see. If we get Zach Greinke under 1.5 walks at reasonable juice, that's another one where we know it's a good spot, and I'll be willing to pull a trigger on it. So also, did you guys hammer Corbin Carroll yesterday? The stolen base leader? We were talking about it yesterday. It was at 15-1. I saw on DraftKings you can get plus 300 odds on any season-long leader. So I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and put some money on it. Now he was at 13-1. So you guys drove him down from 15 to 13-1 yesterday. You guys liked Corbin Carroll, stolen base leader. I've gone in and put some money on it. I use that 300. I'm not going to give it out because I hate Major League Baseball futures are like the one I hate because you're tying up money from March to November or October. Like, it's just a long time. So that's not an official bet, but I went in and used that profit boost. So I slapped some money on Corbin Carroll to be a stolen base leader. Got it to 16-1 with the profit boost. So we'll see if he can't be the guy that leads the league in stolen bases. Otherwise, fellas, that's all I've got. A couple nrfis, a full game nrfi, and then a little nrfi parlay, and then 3 little NBA props I think are going to treat us really quite good tonight, quite frankly. And NBA, normally coming into the baseball season struggling, like can't wait for the NBA to end. I know it's only been a week and a couple of days, but damn, NBA the last little week or 10 days been quite nice to us, and look forward to that continuing tonight. So, all right, guys, go ahead, get those bets in. Come on back tomorrow. Call it 10:40 a.m. Eastern Time. 10:40 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll recap these 3 bets in the NBA. Then we'll also give you guys some more NBA bets, and then we'll kind of hang out for the start of payoff picks at 11 a.m. Eastern Time with Hockey Squirrel and I break down every single baseball game and give you guys leans and bets for every single one. All right, that'll be it. I don't see any more comments there in the section. Go enjoy your... Whoa, I did see one just roll in. Sorry there, Brian. What you got? You just passed Suarez. Oh, no shit, Brian. I know, yeah, they're running in Richmond. As you say here in your comment, you saw Suarez's hauler. Nice. Hell yeah, Brian. What'd you do? Did you give him the honk the horn? Did you give him do anything, Brian? What'd you give him to do, man? You missed the first few minutes. What is the schedule for tomorrow? Gotcha, man. Here it is. I'll move it on this side so I don't cover the bets. But you can already see, well, the upcoming live streams, you're in the top one. The middle one is payoff pitch. It says 10 a.m. because that's just where I live. It's 10 a.m. Central, but it'll be live at 11 a.m. Central. If you want to recap the previous day and know if I've got any NBA bets, we're going to go 20 minutes prior to every day. So that's already been updated. If you were to go to it now, it already says 9:40 and not 10. And again, that's Central Time where I live. And then the other one there, Corey, is the nrfi sweat we're going to do. Mets Marlins. The game starts at 3:10. We'll set the table at 3:05. And then 3:10 will be sweat your ass off time as we sweat a nrfi because, they're sweaty. It's just by the nature of the bet. So that's the schedule for tomorrow there, Corey. That's how we roll. All right, that'll be it, fellas. Let's go ahead and call it a day. Lock in these bets. Let's have ourselves a good night. Come on back tomorrow, ring the cash register, and then talk some Major League Baseball. Have a good one, fellas.